Do you remember this?
But definitely get an NVMe in this, because if you
Definitely.
run a computer that's this fast with an old drive like that,
I'll be hurt.
Oh, it's crazy, right?
What about this? So I just figured out what that 256 gig SSD was from the old computer that I said was the media server. That's the boot drive. So we gotta take this out of this computer. It is immediately ineligible to fit in here because I'm not touching none of that. I'm not doing none of that reformatting. So we're gonna shut this down and we're gonna go from there. Well, yeah, I did it. So now I have things to fix. So even after having that conversation, talking about not using an old hard drive, number one. Number two, making sure that I did use an NVMe M.2 hard drive, and of course, making sure that it was the one right under the processor. I still managed to take that 250 gig hard drive, put it into my new build, and use it as my boot drive. That's where problems came in. The biggest noticeable issue was boot speed. It boots very slow compared to what I know it can and should do using an NVMe hard drive right under the processor. So I was already going to take the hard drive out of my wife's PC, which is what my camera's sitting on right now, and swap it with the 1 terabyte M.2 that I have in my computer, which is over there. So I'm about to take this 2 terabyte hard drive, switch it with this 1 terabyte hard drive, take that 250 gig SSD out, and get this thing wrapped up and ready to be used in its proper way, so I can finally have this whole computer, quote unquote, finally built to where the only thing I need to do is my file management, because I still have not done that yet. Let me go get these freaking screwdrivers. I already have the back off of this one to take this hard drive out. And I've already taken the front off of both. I'm not even talking today. I don't even feel like talking. I'm just gonna take this hard drive off this casing, put my shell case back, and then put this bracket back on. So now I have to figure out where I've got this plugged up at, because I need to disconnect it, speaking that this hard drive is no longer in there. All right, so I've got it pulled through the back, and it's showing this is the one that I put in here at a 90-degree angle. So the next thing for me to do, I just need to remove this 1 terabyte hard drive from mine, remove that 2 terabyte from the wife's. Then I have to reinstall Windows on mine. And what I really need to do, but I'm not gonna do until the wife is tentative, I need to reset Windows on hers. That way she can set everything up the way that she wants it to be. But for now, I have got to switch these hard drives out. So, yeah. All right. Yep. So that's that 1 terabyte that has to go. I have to remove the graphics card, then I have to remove the shield in order to get to the hard drive, and I think that hard drive is right here. That tab is right here. And my fingers are too big to get in here the way I need to. I shouldn't even be trying this. Oh, that sound always makes me feel like I've broken it. My issue is I don't want to load too much on this boot drive. However, I'm going to need that space. I'm tired. I'm gonna have to plug the 250 gig back up once I get everything loaded. Plug it back up, put it back in. Well, I'm just gonna plug it up. I'm not even gonna plug it in. I'm not gonna put it back in the case. I'm just gonna leave it hanging out. But I am going to put that back on there so I can transfer certain files so I don't necessarily have to re-download everything or try to remember what all I put on here. These hard drives are switched. All I need to do is now put this bracket back on. Once I get this bracket back on, reinstall Windows 11 and go from there. My bad for making y'all sit through another nerd alert video. I'm hoping this is the last one. But if you have any suggestions of what I should put on that 2 terabyte that's about to be my boot drive, leave a comment down below, DM me, send me a message, email me, whatever. Yeah, I would like to know what other people are putting on that hard drive, especially when it's so much space. So let me put this back on, and then I'm gonna take this computer back in the room and plug it up to get Windows 11 reinstalled. So yeah, back in the room. I'm about to hit this power button for the power supply. If I can get my hand back here. All right, so part of my issue is I'm an overthinker. Most people would have just slapped their hard drive in there, called it a day, left it alone, wouldn't have cared, would have done whatever it is that they needed to do with it. But me, I'm a little too strategic. OCD, whatever you want to call it. Okay. Windows 11, that mouse probably doesn't work yet. But yeah, that's part of my issue. I'm overthinking it. I think they call it analysis paralysis. Whatever they call it, I got it, and I have it bad. So when this was in the other computer, when I set it up for my wife, I literally named the hard drive Rename Me. And as you can see, the total space and the free space are free. So once it installs Windows 11, I'll go through the whole shebang of getting everything reinstalled and switched over from that 250 gig SSD, and then we'll see how that goes. So I'm not gonna bore y'all with the waiting period, so it is what it is. I'll be back.